Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so the products that I use today you can purchase from my online store, which is at the top of the screen, and it's linked below also. My project today is a box that I made with the Cactus Cuties. Now this does have a cactus builder punch, but it is for this cactus and this piece and this. But I want to show you an old one I did. It doesn't punch outside the lines. It punches about 1/8 of an inch in the line. So it makes it, if you can tell, this is actually the same pot. It's about 1/8 of an inch all around, smaller. So I just did because I was cutting out the plants anyway, the cacti, I just didn't use the Cactus Builder Punch. Okay, so this box measures about 5.5 by 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. No, 1 1/2, sorry. And it opens up like this. And inside, I have a Jergens Ultra Healing Hand Cream, extra dry skin, and an Essie nail polish. Now the Essie nail polish is from Target, which is it's $6 or so, but the healing hand cream is actually from Dollar Tree. They had Jergens there, and it was $1.25. But you could also put this block thing in instead of the nail polish. You can usually get these at Dollar Tree also. But I thought this would be a really cute gift if you're having a Mother's Day, and you could give this to all of the people that are not your mom. It could be an inexpensive little gift, and it says, "Hope your day is on point." All right, I used the DSP is the Flowering Fields, and we're gonna switch it up to this one. For this next one, I used the one that is Calypso Coral. Now we're gonna use the one that is Mandy Melody. All right, so all of these little extras are going to be switched to Calypso Coral. But it's the same paper pack. I just wanted to use up the paper that I have remaining before the new catalog comes out on May 4th. I wanted to tell you that this Thursday, 4/21, they're giving free shipping on anything Stampin' Up! Is. Anything $75 or more. And there's some things that are carrying over into the catalog. I think they might have a price increase because of, they say, supply and all that. So if there was anything you were looking at in the mini or in the clearance from last year's annual catalog, you can get free shipping on $75 or more. All right, so what we need for this project today is a piece of DSP, or you could do cardstock too and just put DSP inside of it. That is 10 by 8.5. We need some basic white for stamping. We need a scrap of Granny Apple Green for the sentiment. Okay, we need another piece of, it's kind of scrap, but it's sized. It's 1/2 by 3 1/4. That's going to go on the edge of the top, but this one's going to be this. All right, so this is Calypso Coral, and it's 3 1/4 by 1/2. Right. Then this stitched circle is from the Stylish Shapes dies. This comes out on May 4th, and it is 3 inches. So I looked in the layering circle dies, and this scallop is the largest scallop circle. It's 3 1/8, and it just barely shows all around, just the scallops do. Alrighty, so this is the largest circle in the Stylish Shapes dies, and this is the largest scallop circle in the layering circle dies. Alright, so that's what we need. Okay, so let me get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 10-inch side. Okay. All right. we're going to score at 1/2, 3 3/4, 5 1/4, and 8 1/2. Then we're going to turn it to the 8 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score at 1 1/2, 5 1/2, and 7. Okay, and that's it. Alrighty, now I'm just going to fold and burnish. I do have a list that I didn't buy on the pre-order that I am probably going to buy, and along with, like, I need some basic white paper and some ribbon that's carrying over, so I'm going to make an order on Thursday with the free shipping. I might as well save myself a little bit of money there. Alright, now we have the skinniest rectangle on the left hand side. There is a 1 1/2 inch strip on the bottom and 2 1 1/2 inch strips at the top. Alrighty, and this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to get rid of the skinny rectangle at the top and the bottom here, and then get rid of all three of, there's 2 squares and a rectangle off of there. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to start on the bottom left, and remember the skinniest rectangle's on the left hand side. This bottom, this bottom rectangle, we're going to cut that to the first score line and then wedge up a little bit into the piece above it. Okay, there's a rectangle here. We'll go to the edge of the rectangle and cut it to the first score line. Skip the square and cut the other side of that to the first score line, and then wedge each side of the square. Alrighty. Okay, then go to the other side of this rectangle, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge each side of the square. Okay, and that's your first side here. Now we're going to turn it 180 so that the skinniest rectangle is on the right hand side. What we're going to do is we're going to start over here on the left and count 1, 2, 3 score lines, okay? And on that third score line, we're going to cut it up to the first score line. And then we're going to get rid of all 3 of these. It's a square, a rectangle, and a square. So just try to cut it as straight as you can. Some people do put it on their cutter, but I find it's too bulky for that, for me to do it right. So I just straighten it out afterwards if I've cut it like this, a little bit off. Okay. Oops, sorry. There we go. All right, now this square rectangle is going to be part of our top. So we're going to go to the last score line, which is part of our skinniest rectangle. And we're going to cut it up to the first score line and then wedge up into it, the rest of that skinny rectangle. Alrighty, now I'm going to turn it right side again, skinny rectangle on the left. And this is what your cardstock should look like after you've scored it and cut it. Not your cardstock, I'm sorry, your DSP. Alrighty, now we need some tear and tape. And we're going to put it on what's left of the skinny rectangle close to the score line. Okay. And if you want to use liquid glue, I'm not all that great with glue. I get it everywhere, so I use tear and tape whenever I can. All right, I'm going to take the backing off with my Take Your Pick tool. All right, now this is the outside of our box. We're going to flip it to the inside, flip over the part with the tape, and then flip the other side to meet it. Okay, and then this is our back right here. Alrighty, here we go. The seam is right here, so that's our back. So we're going to put the sides in and the back, and we're going to put tear and tape on this piece, which is the front rectangle on the back of that. And I'm going to put 2 pieces just because cooking just because it's not, the hand cream is, it's kind of, it's probably 2 or 3 ounces, so just in case. And this here should be all the way at the edge. If you ever run into a problem with your tear and tape or your glue and a piece is opening, just stick a little bit of glue in there. Like just lift, if this edge is up, just lift it up and stick a little glue and push it back down. Okay, now what I want you to do is fill it with something. So I'm going to put that and I'll put this block in. Alrighty. Now, we only want it to come in where the score line is, and it might try to go underneath. So what I do is I kind of put my finger in there and I hold under the score line so that I can kind of squeeze the side and let the score line stay good. And then I do the other side. Now, if this is cardstock, it usually does it nicely for you. But I just put my finger and I hold under this score line, and then I squeeze the sides together so they match, right? And then I got it so that both of these sides stayed up nicely. Alrighty. Okay. And that's the box, basically. Alrighty. Okay. Now, let's just set that aside for a minute, and we're going to do some stamping. Now these, I told you before, I'm going to fussy cut. They're really not difficult to fussy cut at all. So we need our scrap of basic white. And where's my stamp set? Here it is. Okay. So what we're going to do first is the cactuses and the plant. I'm not sure if this must be a cactus too. Maybe aloe vera or something. So I'm going to do these two in Granny Apple Green ink. And it doesn't matter where on the page I'm going to stamp them because I'm just going to be fussy cutting them out. And I should use my Stampin' Pierce mat. Yep, this one didn't come out as good as I wanted it. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to flip it over and I'll stamp right on top of that. Alright. Perfect. Okay, and then the other cactus. Great. All right, and then the bigger pot I'm going to do in Mango Melody. Which is this one here. Good. And also, nope. Okay, now I'm going to use Calypso Coral for the other pot, oops, and the flowers that are up on the top here. So the other pot I'm using is this one with the diamonds, and then this flower here. So get this one. Good. And then we want 3 of these little flowers, or 2. I think I stamped 3 just in case I screwed up one cutting. Okay, and that's all of the stamped cactus pieces. Now we need our scrap of Granny Apple Green. And some Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to use the sentiment, Hope Your Day is on Point. And I'm just going to try to get it to the bottom so that 2 sides are straight. Great. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to try that again. I want to get a little bit more ink. that's it for stamping. All right, now okay, I cut out all of them, but one of them I put my baby wipe down on, so I'm going to have to fussy cut that one. But the other pieces I didn't want to have to, you have to watch me cut, but I have to cut this because I ruined it. They're pretty good lines, except for the little flower. They're not difficult, and the flower's not that difficult, it's just not as easy. Okay, and there's all our pieces. All right, now make sure my hands don't have ink. I'm gonna get my circle, and remember this is from the Stylish Shapes dies, but it is a 3-inch circle and it has nice stitching around it. All right, I'm going to put the Mandy Melody vase towards the bottom left, and it can hang off a little bit. Oops, we don't want to do that first. Just leave it a little loose on the top so that we can stick just the edge of our cactus in there, right in the middle. All right, and now the Calypso Coral one, we're going to put about the bottom of it about halfway up the Mandy Melody. So then the aloe vera, I think it's aloe vera, is going to go right in there underneath. So just leave that right now. Leave the pot so we can stick this where we want it. Okay, and then we can put the pot on. All right, and then the cactus flowers, I'm just going to put on these two of the taller cactus. And put one on the top of that one, and that one is going to hang off the top. And then this one on the side, and it, yeah, just a little bit of it hangs off the edge. Okay, that's not too bad. As soon as this is all nice and set, I'm going to attach it to the layering circle die that is 3 1/8. That's the scalloped. And it just shows a tiny bit of the scallop around it. And that's Calypso Coral this time. This time I used the Mandy Melody. Okay, while that dries, we want our box that we made. And I'm going to take this piece of Calypso Coral that is 1/2 by 3 1/4. And it's going to be probably a little tiny bit because we cut the score lines off of this. So I'm just going to glue it on first. Ooh, nice. And then I'm going to put it right to the edge on one side. So we only have to trim off one side. Okay, and then you can see on the back where it's over. And I'm just going to snip it. All right, now we need this very big shadow over here. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, now we need one of the 5/8 inch Velcro dots, and I was at my local craft store and I saw them in the sewing section, these low profile ones, so you don't have to get them on Amazon or on Walmart.com. So they were in the sewing section, and then they were $3.99 for the little ones, for the for this size, which is 3/8. These are 5/8. These were $3.99, so I didn't look at what these were. I'm not sure if they're the same price, but you can use your coupon on them too. Not that it's as good as it used to be, but... All right, I'm going to take one side and put it on the back of this flap here. And then I'm going to get the other side and put it with the adhesive facing out. And then just make sure that your flap is even. And just gently press it. And then gently pull it up and then reinforce them both. Okay, and your box is closed. Alrighty, now let's do our bow. All I did for the bow, now you can, I used the glittered organdy ribbon. You can just tie a bow and put a glue dot on there, but I'm gonna use my hole punch, which reaches above this strip here. And I'm just gonna put 2 holes, which I did off center, but that's all right, we can fix that. All right, and then I'm gonna take the glittered organdy ribbon. And I'm gonna put it down one and up the other. Okay, and then I'm just going to close it. And it was just, when I did it, it was just a little bit longer than the actual box that I needed. Alrighty, when you're tying it, some people need a little less. I need a decent amount to tie a bow. Okay. There you go. I just want to straighten this one out. There we go. And then I'm just going to move it to the side so that it's in the middle, even though I punched the holes wrong. All right. And then I'm just going to snip off the ends. All right, so our box is done. Yeah, the tie and everything. All right, now I'm going to get some dimensionals. And I'm just going to put 3. I'm just going to put this, kind of center it between the top and bottom. It almost goes to the edge. Oops, just make sure that your pots are kind of straight. All right, and then I'm just going to trim my sentiment. Unfortunately, this cutter was a joining bonus 2 years ago when I joined, so you can't get it, but you can get some different ones online, the little minis. Okay, and it turns out to be about 2.5 by 3/4. All right, so we're going to put it right down here so that it kind of looks almost like the top pot is resting on it. So we need a dimensional over here on the left, on the right. I have a hard time with my right and left. Sorry about that sometimes. I don't really, but it seems like on film I do. All right, I'm just going to take that off, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to decide where I want it and put it down. All right, almost done. The final touch is I added some matte black dots. I'm going to put one on each pot. I'll put the small ones on the pots. And then I'm going to put a large one in between the 2 plants up there. And that's it. I hope you like this tutorial. And the 2 different colors. This one's Mandy Melody and this one's Calypso Coral. And it's from the Flowering Fields DSP, which is in the mini catalog, still available. All right, if you have any questions, my email is below. The link to join as a demonstrator, if you'd like to join, is below also. And the link to my shop where you can purchase any of these. The only thing that's not available to the 4th is the Stylus Ship shape dies. And remember, this Thursday, the 21st, is free shipping on $75 or more from Stampin' Up. All right, I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.